everyone! Welcome to day 18 of the Advent calendar. For many people, today is the last day of work. It's a Friday. I know lots of people are taking from next week off in order to enjoy the Christmas period. So today, I know it appears that I'm wearing a repeat of an outfit. That is true. I am wearing the same top that I have worn in a previous video. This is the Maven Somerset top because I happen to be wearing it today. But the thing that I am wearing to show you is the bottom half of my outfit, which is a self-drafted pencil skirt with a few interesting features, or at least the things that I was thinking about when I drafted it. So the waistline is lowered by a couple of inches. And then the other thing that I did was put an accordion pleat into the back of the skirt where the kick pleat would normally be. It's a really nice finish on the back of a skirt, really interesting. I think it would look super cool if you did the pleats in a different colour. So what I'd quite like to do is make another skirt like this one. It's a very classic neutral. I made it in a camel wool, so it goes with everything. And it's great. I wear it a lot at work. But I think it would be really nice if you had that, but then with, say, like a flash of like coral pink. So the pleats behind the skirt are pink. So when you walk, it kind of, you see that pop of colour. For the rest of the time, you don't see them. So I'd quite like to work out how I can sew it up so that that works. Today's joke. One for the teachers out there, potentially. I could be for everyone. What do English teachers call Santa's little helpers? Subordinate clauses. Oh, I love me a grammar joke. Oh, that's a good one. That and Latin teachers probably as well. I think when I learned Latin, it was about the only time I learned about subordinate clauses. My A-levels, I did Latin for A-level because I had a really great teacher and I loved it. And then I did sciences for the rest of it, so it was a bit of a random combination. But yes, I think I probably learned more about English grammar from learning Latin than I did from my English. That's certainly true. Anyway, that's the joke for the day. Here is your Advent tip for day 18. I hope you enjoy it. I will see you tomorrow for day 19. Bye-bye.
Today's tip is all about starting hand sewing and 3 ways that you can begin. The first is one that most people will be very familiar with, which is to leave a tail and do a double stitch in place so that it anchors your thread. This means you don't have any knots creating any bulk in your work, and it provides a nice flat way of you starting your stitching. It's really secure, and even if you sort of try to give the thread a pretty good tug, it's not going anywhere. The second does involve tying a knot, and was one that I actually learnt from an embroidery teacher. So you tie a knot in your thread and start at the top of your work. This is the thing that was different for me. So you thread your thread through so that the knot ends up on the front of your work, whatever that is, and you then do a double stitch in place next to your knot in whichever direction you're sewing. This means that you have then anchored your thread and you can remove the knot from your work. So having done your 2 stitches, you can snip off underneath the knot and your thread still won't come undone. The benefit of this is that if you're less confident about sewing and you want the security of a knot when you start, but you don't want to retain it once you've finished sewing, you can snip it off. So it gives you a little bit of the best of both worlds. The final version is one that I learned from my mum, who I've mentioned before was a very avid quilter. This is a double layer of fabric, which you do need for this technique. What you want to do is start your needle off about 1 inch away from where you want to start sewing, so that the needle comes out at the point at which your sewing line will start. So you've then got a knot about 1 inch away. What you then do is give it a little tug, and it will pull the knot under the fabric and mean that it is sandwiched between your 2 layers. So it can't be seen from the front or the back, and you can then do your anchoring stitches. I always do these anyway, no matter what I'm sewing, because you can never be quite confident that your knot is going to hold it. But you do your 2 stitches in place as you would and continue sewing. The lovely thing about this is you don't get any evidence of a tail or a knot on the front or the back of your work, and it hides it really neatly inside. So there you go, 3 methods for starting hand sewing.